Okay, so now we're going to add a switch to our user interface to run our sprinkler in automatic versus manual mode. So in automatic mode, it'll recognize the start time and start automatically when we've told it to. And in manual mode, we'll have to start it on our own. And so first thing we do is I'm going to add a switch node. So select switch. And that's the wrong one. I actually want the dashboard node. And I'll configure this, put it into our controls group, give it a size of 2 by 1. And the label will be automatic/manual, and give it a descriptive tooltip. We'll say run sprinkler in automatic/manual mode. And for an icon, I'm going to give it some custom icons. For the on icon, I'll give it FA car, FA2X. These are font awesome icons. And so if you actually go to node help, you can look at more options for these and figure out what the codes are. So font awesome is an icon library. If you wanted an on icon that was a power button, for example, you could use this code. But we're going to use the car icon and 2x indicate somewhat larger. Color, I'm going to give it a red color. So put in the hex code 1, 2, and then 4 zeros. Off icon, I'm going to use an icon called FA hand paper O. And for a color, we don't need to use hex. Gray will also work here, passing in color names. And for the payload, I'm going to type in some JSON here. You can copy it from the course, but it's going to be status. So for on, add status is true. Message, automatic mode enabled. I'm just going to copy this and essentially flip it for off. So the status will be false, and it'll be manual mode enabled. Call that done. And now, just like we stored our start time variable, we want to store our auto start variable. So we'll bring in a change node here. And we're going to call this save automatic/manual mode. And the actual will be to set a global variable that we're going to call auto start to message payload status. Because remember, in the JSON here, we set true or false via payload status. So say done and connect the two. Go ahead and deploy this. So now it's not very pretty. We'll fix that in a second. But it's running in manual mode with this hand. Switch to automatic mode. And just to verify that that's working, I'll go back to my workspace. Go to context data. Refresh here, and I see my auto start variable is set to true. And if I were to change this and refresh this, see that it's set to false now. Okay, so let's, as a last piece, move some things around in our layout. So go to our dashboard, and I can see my tabs and groups here. And I want to edit the layout of my tab. And so let me go back to pulling this up. So if I click on the layout, it pulls up the elements that I have. And let's just move some things around. So let's take our sprinkler status and move it into a different group. Put it into controls and see how that looks. Okay. Better, but I've got this these two things flipped. I would think that the start sprinkler should go at the top and the switches here should go towards the bottom. Let's go back to our layout. We have time and controls. Okay, it took a half second. Seemed like a little bit buggy, but what I ended up doing was being able to drag these around, put time above controls, deploy, and now I have it set up the way that I want it, where start sprinkler is at the top, and then some of my controls are below.